because each side will be allowed a total of 10 minutes to speak. Development plans require a public hearing. However, no action will be taken by the Planning Commission. Plats, rezoning, revised master plans, and street renamings require a public hearing, and once the hearing is complete, the Planning Commission members will deliberate and render an opinion. Planning Commission members with a personal or financial interest in a petition's request are required to recuse themselves. Tonight there is 8 members present, of which you will need 5 votes. If for any reason that a petitioner wishes it feels like that's not fair for him or her, he can wait and move his project to the next month. Do we have any changes?
No.
No changes to the thing?
No
all
changes.
Right. Everyone's had a chance to look at the minutes. Is there a motion for the minutes?
Move to approve.
Move to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor? Tommy?
The first item today is presented by Civil Consulting Engineers, Inc. on behalf of CSC Properties. It's a request for final approval. Montgomery Heights Commercial Plat No. 3 on the northwest corner of Federal Drive and Crestview Avenue in a B2 district.
Okay, is the petitioner? No one here to represent? Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
Name and address, please, sir.
Sorry, it's hard to hear.
You know it is.
In here.
You need one of these.
My name is Todd Duplantis. I'm with CSC Properties. Address is 5795 Almerton Road, Clearwater, Florida, 33760. I'm here in request of final approval of a plat at the Montgomery Heights Commercial Plat No. 3, located on the northwest corner of Federal Drive and Crestview Avenue in a B2 zoning.
Okay. Anyone got a question on the Planning Commission? Comment?
Do you have plans? Do you have plans for that property now?
Yes, we do.
What are you going to do?
There's going to be a Circle K convenience store that's going to go on that property.
Circle K.
Any other comments, questions? Anyone wish to come forward and speak for or against? If not, is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor? Thank you.
Next item is by Goodwyn, Mills, and Cawood. It's on behalf of Capitol Plaza Associates, LLC. It's a request for final approval of Capitol Wholesale Distributors, Inc., Plat No. 1C, located on the south side of East South Boulevard, about 800 feet west of Woodley Road in a B4 zoning district.
My name is Judy Jones with Goodwyn, Mills, and Cawood, and on behalf of Capitol Plaza Associates, we are requesting final plat approval. This is an existing platted lot out there where the Capitol Plaza Shopping Center is, and a portion of that they want to replat.
Okay, any questions from the Planning Commission?
This involves the old Winn-Dixie location.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any other?
What's the purpose?
It's my understanding it's going to be a restaurant.
Really?
Okay. Any other comments? Anyone wish to speak for or against? If not, a motion's in order.
Move to approve. Second.
There's a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor? Thank you, Judy.
Thank you.
The next item is presented by Michael J. Williford, PLS, on behalf of Donald Hawthorne It's a request for final approval of Donald Hawthorne Plat No. 1 on the east side of Cooper Road, 1,100 feet south of East McLean Road. It's in Ag 1 and flood hazard districts.
Okay, Donald Hawthorne, good evening.
There you go.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Donald Hawthorne. I recently
Give your address, if you would, please, sir.
299 Cooper Road.
Thank you, sir.
And I recently had that property surveyed off into 3 lots and 2 small lots. And what I'm planning is to let my daughter build down there homes.
Now, it's going to be a permanent dwelling, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
A
they are.
structure, not
Yes.
not a trailer?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, sir. Okay, that's on one of the lots or all 3 of them?
Just 2 of the lots.
2 of the lots?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, these lots are gonna be in front of those houses that are there now?
One of them is. Yes, that there now. Yes.
How are you gonna have access to the houses that's gonna be behind it?
Well, there are, when there are people that behind my property there, I gave them permission to put that road there off the edge and right there where the road turns there. They do have roads through there.
Are these easements going to be dedicated easements?
Beg your
Are
pardon?
they dedicated easements, or y'all just showing it on here as
No, they're there.
they are dedicated?
Yes.
Have you talked it over with the neighbors?
One of them is here now. This afternoon. Yes, I have talked it over with them and asked them, was it any problem with me, my daughter's building down there?
And there was no problem?
No problem.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Anyone wish to speak? Sir, did you want?
My name's Lorenzo Jackson. I live at 193 Cooper Road in Hopewell, and that's the property that's to the far left, and that's my road. Now, I haven't talked to Mr. Hawthorne about use of that road, but I know there on the other side there is a road that can be used. I don't recall that conversation, talking about using.
When Daniel gave you the permission to put that road through there, talk to us.
Yeah, but Mr.
Yeah, sir, if you don't mind, speak into the mic. If you, it's recorded for.
Okay,
so-
when my uncle gave him permission to put that road through there, it was set in stone. I mean, I can't take it back from it, you know.
Well, on the drawing, it looks like the lot on the far left has an access at the edge of the property.
Yes, it's at the edge of it.
And that's your house there in that lot?
What you talking about, my house?
Yes.
Yes, that's my house on the very end.
And the road is at the north end of Lot 1,
Yes, yes.
and you still gonna have access there?
That is my road.
Okay.
Right.
When you say that's your road, you maintain it?
Yes,
Okay,
I put it in, maintain it, everything, yes.
okay.
And they're gonna have access across, over that road to these lots. Is that correct?
No, they have access through the middle road.
Through the Cooper?
I think I see what he's saying now. That road, they gonna put their own road in.
To their lot, on that, off the Cooper Road there. Here comes off Cooper Road to the front of.
All right, so I'm confused.
That one road, that first road that you see up there.
Yes, sir.
That goes back to the little triangular, no,
Yeah.
that goes back to the triangular, drive area view right there.
Yeah.
That first road up there, that's my road. If you come down to the other road right there, that's the road that goes to, he can see it, he's pointing to it. That's the road that goes to the property that he's seeking to build on, as well as the other property. So that would be the access road for them.
But that road goes through lot 2 and 3.
Yes, yes. And from that road, they can have access to all of that land. But my road is pretty much a private road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Were you here to speak for or against?
I mean, I don't mind whatever they're gonna do up there. My concern was if there's a dwelling that's gonna be built there, that water, because water holds in that area up there, it's wet in the hottest of summer, that if a dwelling's gonna be built there, that it is, developed in such a way that that water doesn't come back on my property, but goes to the culvert.
You
on
talking about lot
Cooper Road.
1?
Yes.
Lot 1?
Yes.
That holds water?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to put that in motion.
sir,
It's right there, where you got it the red around, yeah, in that area in the corner.
show me again, if you don't mind, what is
Where
your
you got
road?
where you got the little asterisk now. Go to the other, right in there. Go back up, right there. All of that area from about a
That's your
quarter.
road coming in this way?
Yes, yes,
That little Y?
yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes.
But what he's saying is to the west of that.
Yeah.
is
See,
where
that
water
road
goes.
comes from
Right.
Cooper.
Lot 1 floods.
Right, right.
Yeah, you're just looking at the outline of the property, but that's the road right there where you just ran. That's, yeah. Then that just comes back onto my property.
Okay.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with the property that we're looking at now. The other road is, for all of that other property, and it goes back to that other, piece of land there too.
Right.
Yeah. But my concern was just, that's the only reason I came down here, was that if something is developed on that property, that water doesn't come back on my land, but it's diverted or developed in such a way that that water goes back to the street and runs out of the culvert.
On Cooper?
Yes,
Okay.
because that culvert is not maintained too well by the county. We are in the country, and they do what they can once or twice a year.
Sir, were you aware of his concerns?
No, not at the, no, I wasn't. But I just discussed it with him.
Go to the microphone.
Microphone.
Yeah, microphone, sir, I'm sorry.
I just discussed it with him when he walked in. I didn't know he was gonna show up today. But when he showed up, I mentioned whatever we need to do down there. Well, I be down there all the time. I still have livestock down there. Whatever we need to do to make sure that water don't go back to his property, we can get it done. No problem.
But sir, you're not objecting to what he's doing?
No, I just don't want
You just don't want water on it?
the water, and then we have our utilities running from the house back to the road through that land, which access was given us, years ago for that.
Yes, sir.
My water line runs from the house straight up to Cooper Road, and my power runs under the ground, from the house under that road over there as well. On that same side,
Yeah. Okay.
because, right of way had to be given at the time.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other comments? Anyone else wish to speak for or against? If not, motion's in order.
I will move to approve with the condition, with the, qualify that, you take care of. the
I
wa-
agree.
Okay, wait a minute, let me finish first, man. that you allow the person that's south of him have the road access to his house and the water issue that he has. You don't have a problem with that?
Speak in there again, if
Into the
you don't
mic.
mind, sir.
No, I do not have a problem with it.
Okay.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, there is a motion and a second. All those in favor? All those opposed? Thank y'all, and it's nice to
Thank
see,
y'all very much.
see neighbors, that neighbor.
Hey, we gonna be there for a long time.
There
man.
you go.
We got to
There
get
you
along.
go. There you go.
Thank you.
The next item is presented by Elena Costanza, requesting to rezone a parcel of land containing 2.12 acres on the west side of Watson Circle, 400 feet south of Atlanta Highway from B3 to R100.
Hi, my name is Lena Costanza, 245 Tensall Road. I'm a former resident of Watson Circle. I had owned a piece of property there, 161, for about 20 years. And there's a piece of property that I still own beside it. It's 2.1 acres of commercial property. I did purchase it as commercial. I want to rezone it residential. I've been there a long time. My grandfather owned it before that, and he was the founder of Faulkner University, which is right kind of diagonal to it. But we have so much commercial property around us on that end, and we have a lot of empty buildings. It's brought a lot of things into that circle. And as I left, everybody was, asking me, will you, please help us out now that you're gone? Because I purchased it to prevent a lot of different things that I was told that was going to happen there when they initially sold it. So I bought it. But I would like to change it to residential just so I can sell it, to keep everybody happy. I think it's what's best, to create a buffer between all of the commercial property around it.
Fair enough. Anyone have a question or comment? Anyone wish to speak for or against? If not, there's a motion in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor? Thank you, ma'am.
The next item is presented by Troy Blevins, request to rezone one lot on the north side of West 2nd Street, 300 feet east of Forest Avenue from O1 to a B1B zoning district.
Hello, my name is Troy Blevins, and I'm at 1721 West 2nd Street. I request for a rezone for mixed use. The property, when I purchased it, I was purchasing a property, it's a commercial.
Can you speak up, please?
It's a commercial, it was a fabric store, and prior to that, I think it was a home. And I want to continue with the commercial part of it for a retail store, boutique, and live in the residential part, the 2-bedroom, 1-bath portion of the property.
Okay. Any comments or questions from the planning commission?
What you gonna have in the boutique?
Pardon me?
What are you gonna have in the boutique?
Clothes. Clothing store.
You gonna make them?
No, I wish.
I'm just checking.
Robert, this is another one that says planned future land use is not correct. We've had several like that, and in fairness, we knew we were gonna have them because because we're all human. It wasn't a perfect document. Is this comment in here, is that a signal for us to be concerned, or is that from that standpoint, or is that just a comment?
No, I don't know.
No, I'm
She's
talking,
talking to
I'm
Robert.
sorry, I'm talking to Robert Smith.
She didn't know exactly.
I'm sorry.
No, sir, no signal to be concerned about. As she said, and she took the words right out of my mouth, this location used to be residential. And so when the consultants were actually doing the comprehensive plan, when they looked at it, they automatically thought that it was residential because they didn't go out and really look on the streets. They were looking at aerials on the map and, you know, looking down on the ground, looking from the air on the ground. Most of the structures that are there that hadn't been totally torn down and converted to commercial buildings like the one on the opposite side of the street, basically looked like residential. So it would be an easy mistake to make. So, but you know, that's why we check and we review each one of the rezoning proposals to make sure that, you know, it makes sense.
And ma'am, what we were talking about was the Envision program 2040 that was done for the city. First updating of the rezoning and all, and how many years? 50 or 60 years. And that was a business cleanup for us. It was not meant for your for something that would affect you really. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Robert. Okay. Any other comments, questions? Anyone wish to speak for or against? If not, a motion's in order.
Move to approve.
Second.
There's a motion to approve in a second. All those in favor? Okay, thank you, ma'am.
The next item is presented by Flowers and White Engineering on behalf of Douglas Isaacson, requesting final approval of Isaacson Plat No. 4 on the northeast corner of Raythornton Road and Wisdom Wood Road. It's in a B2Q district.
Good evening, Brad Flowers, Flowers and White Engineering, representing Mr. Isaacson, Douglas Isaacson, that is. Y'all are familiar with this property at Raythornton and Wisdom Woods. I'm not going to get into a long, drawn-out deal, but what we're here for now is platting of the property. If you recall, it never was platted. It was just a parcel line that ran right through the middle of it, and to do the development that they have come and rezoned the property for, we need to go ahead and get that platted and cleaned up, so that's what we're here for.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Anyone wish to speak for or against? If not, a motion's in order.
Hang on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was there some?
Somebody's coming.
Ma'am, come up and just give your name and address if you would.
Yes, my name is Grace Kim.
You can pull that so you can. So
Hi, my name is Grace Kim.
Yes,
and, I just received this notice.
Yes, ma'am.
I've never received a notice about the first commercial, changing the land, because when I bought my house right there on lot 18, they never told me that this would switch to commercial. I was told that it would be an office space behind it, and that's all. So I'm just curious what's going on here.
So back several months ago, the developer brought this back and got it rezoned.
Okay.
So they can do a development of a storage building on that property. So the rezoning went through, and what we're doing tonight is basically platting the property, combining it into one legal lot, like your lot is lot 18. We're just creating this as a numbered lot of one drawing. And so that's what tonight is, just basically recording the lot lines and the bounds as one parcel, one lot.
Okay, because when I contacted the land office here, they told me that my land has nothing to do with it, so it shouldn't, bother me at all. But now they send me a letter saying, it would. So I'm just curious, what is about to be built here then in that area, in the front?
So like I said, it's going to be a storage facility that'll be built on that lot, and the rezoning went through last month, I believe, at City Council, and it's been probably 3 months worth of dealing with the Planning Commission and the council, I believe it was, and working with the entire neighborhood and everybody within about a 3-mile radius to get all of that approved. So anyway, all that being said, I know they had several meetings with the Melrose neighborhood and all the neighborhoods up and down the street, Deer Creek and Raythornton, Thornton Trace. I don't know who all was in those, but anyway, it has been rezoned, so it'll be a storage facility that'll be there.
Okay, so that front portion right there, that's all going to be storage buildings then, pretty much? Or is that going to be a 24-hour facility then, or?
I don't remember the exact details.
No, it's not 24 hours. It's not going to be 24 hours, no.
Right.
No.
We discussed
No.
that.
were there set hours for it?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
I have young children and I don't
Yes.
want to deal with the 24 hours of something.
If you talk to your HOA,
Well, they don't really communicate very well anyway, so.
okay, well, they were all at the discussion about it.
Okay.
And the hours were laid out, and the maximum height was laid out, and how far into the land the thing would go, and no vehicle stored outside of the building. All of that was hashed out with the HOAs.
They don't really pass that on to all of us.
Right, I understand.
Could I contact you, sir, about it, or should I contact this person about it, or?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
you can call the number on that letter
I
you
did
got,
call.
and we'll email you a copy of what they approved for the storage facility.
Okay, I called earlier today, and I called last time there was a meeting about the commercial, and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I didn't receive a letter, but my neighbors did.
The reason why you didn't get a letter for the rezoning is because that portion of the property was already zoned appropriately. So we don't send it to the ones adjoining that. We only send it to the back half that was zoned office, and you don't touch the office part.
But our line actually touches that, actually. 'Cause I've had a surveyor come out and stake my part, and I've seen it, yeah. 'Cause I've seen them already take down all the trees on our side already, so.
Right, so, and I'm gonna try to show it real quick. So,
Stay in
you
the
live
mic.
up in this area right in here
Yep,
somewhere?
like
So
up here.
the lot was divided like this. This was already zoned for the commercial. This
Okay.
was zoned office.
Okay,
The rezoning only had to do with that.
okay,
So you touched what was already zoned
Okay.
commercial, so you didn't get a letter because it didn't affect you because you already abutted commercial property.
okay,
So now you got a letter because it's being platted. All
Okay.
of it is one.
okay.
But that's why you didn't get a letter because that was already zoned.
Didn't
Could you
apply.
send me what the plans are for right here then? Is that
Yes,
possible?
they've got it.
If you call us tomorrow, we'll send it to you.
Can I catch your name, please?
Yeah, I'll get it down for you.
Okay. Any other comments? Anyone else? If not, motion's in order.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next item by Flowers and White Engineering is on behalf of Patel Group Inc., requesting a final approval of Patel Group Plat number 1 on the east side of Norman Bridge Road at the east end of Hyundai Boulevard from B2Q and M1Q.
Hey, good evening. I'm Kenneth White, representing Patel Group, Inc. Thanks, Tommy. He described just a parcel of land, 5 acres to the east of Hyundai Boulevard, east side of Norman Bridge Road, 331. We're asking for a final plat at this time. I can entertain any questions. Should you have any?
You know, y'all doing a team game tonight, you and your partner, huh?
Well,
Y'all got a bunch tonight. Okay.
it happens that way, Mr. Buddy.
Any comments, questions? Anyone wish to speak for or against? Not, motion's in order.
Move to approve.
Have a motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all those in favor? Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item is presented by Flowers and White Engineering on behalf of T Square LLC, requesting final approval of Dalton Cove at Taylor Lakes Plat number 1 on the west side of Taylor Lakes Parkway, 200 feet north of Chardon Drive in a PUD district.
Thanks, Tommy. This is a continuation of Taylor Lakes. This property, we revised the PUD, 6 to 9 months ago. And this is, we're proposing this 53 lot development, north side of Taylor Lakes. It's in, it conforms to the PUD that we submitted and got approved last year, excuse me. So we're asking for final plat approval for that.
Okay, any comments? Any questions? Anyone wish to speak for or against? Yes, sir. Name and address, if you would, please, sir.
My name is Keith Roll. I live on 5549 Chardon Drive, so I back up immediately to that property. I was here the last time when they asked about that whole, I guess that's 3 different pods total, but they're just talking about that one today. When they got permission for all of it, the big contention was, will they stick with the covenants? And they said they would. So I went back and looked at covenants, and it turns out they haven't even written the covenants for the part that they're asking you to approve. I spoke with them today, and so they basically said they'll do those later. So you're approving, I guess, a concept. They don't have haven't, agreed to anything total. The big thing that I did find was, so the covenants for the section that it backs up to is pretty clear that, well, actually I found the covenants 2 different ways. They changed at some point, but the original covenant said the houses had to be at least 2,200 square feet. They had to have at least 1,800 square feet on the ground floor, not including garage, porches, stuff like that. What they want to build does not. It also says that the adjoining property should be similar architecture. The stuff that the D.R. Horton built in Larkspur is very different architecture. I have a lot of pictures if you want to look at them. But all those houses in Rose Hedge right there that immediately butts up to it are all brick. They're larger houses. The stuff in Larkspur is like 3-side siding. But also looking at the covenants for Larkspur, it's pretty clear they say the same thing. Minimum of 2,200 square feet, minimum ground floor of 1,800 square feet, exclusive of open porches, garages, non-living area, all lots of minimum frontage, blah, blah. Here's 5,500 Stapleton. It's a house that they built in 18. It is 2,025 square feet, so it does not conform to their covenants. All the D.R. Horton homes are a bit larger than this one, I believe, but the ground floor is mostly garage, so they don't conform to their covenants. So my concern is that they promised to maintain the integrity of the neighborhood by following the covenants, which they haven't written, and they already break their own covenants. I don't know if Desi has anything to add. I've got pictures, maps, some other stuff. I'm not used to doing this, so a little nervous, but if you have questions for me, I think I have documents.
Okay. Comment? Questions?
Have you guys discussed this?
Yes, I went to the first meeting. Again, they said they would follow the covenants. We asked about the architecture. We disagreed. They said, well, it kind of is what it is. The market's changed. They want to build different houses. I understand that. I'm a licensed real estate broker. That's what I do for a living. My argument was they said they basically can't build higher-end homes. They won't sell. Across the street, Hampstead is the most expensive dollar per square foot in the city, and they can't build them fast enough. So something there. They basically said that D.R. Horton was the builder that was willing to work with them. I get it, but if you look at Sienna Circle there, all those houses were built by D.R. Horton, and they are brick. They do match the neighborhood. They do those things. So what they'll have not owned up to is what those houses will look like. Will they match our houses? And will they follow, like in kind? I mean, it says I have to follow, my house has to match the stuff close to me. They're going to build houses too that butt up to my property. Will they look like mine? Will they conform? That's the concern. Have you got an answer
What
to
about
that stuff? I don't know.
I've got a question for you. What about the lot size? How does it compare?
So the lots, that was the whole point of before. The lot sizes were the same kind of thing. The first thing they did was ask to shrink where they had lots platted for about 200 houses. They asked that they be able to shrink the lots to put 250 houses. They also didn't allow for any green space, playgrounds, anything. It was all houses. They did admit they didn't think they could actually make that work because they figured there was going to be some wetland issues. And they have kind of conceded. They built a parking lot, which they're not talking about, but that was part of the concessions because they literally didn't have enough parking for their clubhouse. I don't know if that parking lot's permitted or not, but yeah, the Dalton Cove, as you're asking for, how many lots do you want to put in there on this one? Okay, so and how was the original plat?
We can't hear you.
There was not. The DIS shows lots. They have lot sizes, they have lots. I don't know.
So, yeah, so that was the original PUD that was approved, I guess, yeah, multiple years ago. We've revised the PUD since. I guess that was the meeting that you mentioned, that you came in.
My contention is that you did it on false pretenses.
We revised the PUD from the remaining undeveloped land. I think y'all approved it, last year, middle of last year. And we're just asking for the final plat of these 53 lots, which conforms to the master plan that y'all approved the PUD in. As for covenants, usually covenants run with the platted land, is that right? Yeah, I mean, saying we always draft, usually covenants are drafted up per plat, you follow me? So I'm assuming that my owner would have covenants drafted for this individual plat. Well, again, we haven't recorded the plat yet. So again, we're just asking, we haven't built the subdivision yet. We still have 6 to 8 months in construction. So I always try to ask for final plat on the front end of a job. So we're just asking for, this plat adheres to the PUD that was approved.
What size houses are you expecting to
These
build
are
out there?
houses, I don't know the square footage, Mr. Cook. Again, there's 70-foot lots that back up to yours. It's about 12. I think there's 12.
We went through this about 3 months ago at different subdivision here in town, and we had a standing room only.
I remember.
And
Again, we have, these lots,
so you don't know what size house is gonna be done? What
I don't-
size
I don't-
lots are they?
I can tell you the lot size. I don't know the square footage of the.
How do the lot sizes compare to his lot size?
How did the lot size compare to this gentleman's lot size?
Yes.
I would imagine they're smaller, but this is a PUD, so there's different lot sizes throughout all of Taylor Lakes. Like you mentioned, Larkspur, those Larkspur lots are bigger than these lots. So we have 9 70-foot lots that kind of are along Chardon Drive, and the remaining lots on this request is 60-foot lot lots.
You know whether to adhere to the same setback rules and the covenant.
Speaking to the
So
mic.
when we revise the PUD, we show what setbacks are on that PUD. So I believe they're 20-foot front, 20-foot rear, 5 and 5 side setbacks that we requested when we revised the PUD. Is that right, Tanya? Do you see it?
It's on the agenda.
Okay, is it? That's correct. 20-foot front and rear, 5-foot sides. That's what I said.
Since he understands one thing and you're understanding something else, do you guys want to take some time and kind of clear everything up?
I'm happy to answer any question. As for
No,
covenants.
I'm not talking about here. I mean, some other place, and then you bring it back to us next month.
I guess, and my question is, when we revised the PUD, a lot of these questions were raised at this time, and then y'all approved the PUD at that time. We're just asking for a final plat at this time. We've, we've already done the preliminary stage, and you got, all the lots, with a revised PUD. We're just asking for the final plat, which adheres to the PUD that was requested.
Yeah, but clearly, he has questions that you can't answer.
I can't answer covenant issues, no.
That's what I'm talking about, and that's one of the big issues that he has, is the covenant issue. And then, once you get that clear up, then all the rest of the stuff will fall into place, it seems like.
Did you raise these questions when we did the revised PUD in Jeremy?
Where I got, basically, the reason they approved it is because you guys said you would follow the covenants.
Well,
So now I'm looking at the covenants, you guys don't follow covenants, and you haven't even written the covenants for this.
Again, we haven't recorded the plat yet. We haven't done the work yet. That's why.
It's like
Do you not think that what he was asking, were you not going to follow the covenants that he had for his lot, which backed up to yours?
I understand. They're going to write new covenants for this plat. So
Will it adhere to the covenants that he's required to go to?
Every covenants are different for per plat. So I don't know the
Well,
particulars.
why would covenants per plat change?
Well, there's different size lots for every parts of Taylor Lakes. Like again,
I would think they were being disingenuous if they're saying they're following the covenants and they hadn't even written them.
Well, we don't have covenants govern on raw land. They're plat specific.
I understand that, but he had covenants that backed up to his house.
He had covenants for his house.
He was under certain covenants, and you said you were going to follow the covenants. I would assume that he thought, and most of us thought, that what the covenants you were going to follow were the ones that were applying to him. You're telling me that that was never the case and that they were being disingenuous at best.
Yeah, I'm not saying nobody was being disingenuous, Mr. Cook. No.
Well, what were they doing then? If they were saying they were going to follow the covenants, what covenants were they going to follow?
I don't know what Jeremy, I assume you talked to Jeremy Dickinson.
Well, why don't somebody get that? I think that's what we're asking. Why is, I mean, are you going to follow the covenants that he's got to live with?
Again, I don't think there's covenants on raw land. It's plat specific.
I understand covenants don't cover raw land, but now you're asking for a platting process and you still don't have any plans for covenants at this point.
Well, again, the covenants will be drafted prior to recording of the plat. I thought this is just a procedural
I mean, I live in a
thing.
neighborhood that we've got covenants that cover the whole neighborhood. The covenants don't change per each house.
Per plat, it usually, because it references per plat which covenants govern. Because, again, we revised the PUD, these lots are narrower than the previous, PUD that was approved. So,
But part of them approving narrowing the lots was you saying you follow covenants.
well, again, can I propose, can we table this to next time?
That's what he was asking.
And
That's what he was asking.
I will talk to my owner, because I'm an engineer. I don't get I don't go vertical, I do streets and lots, okay? So,
Well, I understand that, but somebody said that he was going to follow the covenants. And I think you could probably go back to the previous, when you replatted, and he came down here and asked what I thought was a pretty simple question, that you were going to follow the covenants. And now you're saying you don't have even drawn the covenants.
Well, again, I'll propose to table this to next time. I'll talk to my owner. I'll get Jeremy
All right.
Halstead
Good idea.
and T Square LLC to
I hope
contact.
this is
Yes.
not
You guys
disingenuous.
get together. Yes, absolutely. Good.
Is that okay? Can I formally table to the next meeting?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think that's a wise thing to do.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you all very much.
No, thank you for your time, sir.
The next item is presented by Flowers and White Engineering on behalf of Ricky Patel, requesting preliminary approval of Silver Oaks preliminary overall on the east side of Taylor Road, 2,600 feet north of Troy Highway. It's the R50 district.
Good evening. Kenneth White, Flowers White, represent Mr. Patel here. So this tract of land was rezoned to R50 last year, and the council approved that here. This is a preliminary plat concept that we've had. It's a long, skinny piece of property, so we tried to have some open areas and some landscape areas between lots to try to have a nice boulevard effect through this property. So this is what we're proposing for the preliminary plat. Everything is 50-foot wide for the R50 zoning.
Again, what's going on the open space that's right there? What's that? What's the plan on right at the entry?
Okay. That space is, we're gonna leave it open space because we cannot fit a 50-foot wide lot over there. So we're just gonna leave it as a green zone or open space.
Well, who's going to take care of it?
HOA gonna take care of it. Yes, sir.
What about that little triangle beside Lot 1? It doesn't have anything written on it.
Yeah, that's gonna be the open space too, sir. And HOA gonna handle that. Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, we're happy to help answer any questions if somebody has.
Anybody on the planning commission have another question? Anybody for or against this? If not, motion's in order.
I make a motion that we approve it, subject to the 2 lots that you have agreed to keep up.
HOA's gonna keep it.
The HOA's gonna keep it up? Is the HOA, somebody representing the HOA here?
Well, that ain't even been formed.
No, we're gonna form HOA.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna keep it up
Yes,
until the
sir.
HOA is formed?
Yes.
That's my point.
Yes.
You're gonna keep the lots up, okay?
Yes, sir.
I second.
Make the motion subject to that.
I'll second.
Okay. We got a motion and a second. All those in favor? Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next item is about Flowers and White Engineering on behalf of Ricky Patel, requesting final approval of Silver Oaks Plat No. 1 on the east side of Taylor Road, 2,600 feet north of Troy Highway in AR 50 district.
So this lane is identical that y'all just approved the preliminary plat. We're asking for final plat approval at this time. You know, a lot of times you do these together. So,
And you probably will from now on.
so we're, you know, should y'all approve this, we'll start the engineering drawings and construct it.
Okay. And do the covenants, huh?
Yes. Mr. Buddy, I've been burned in the past for not asking for final plat to the very end of the project. And my owner was not very happy with me. So a lot of times I do this on the front end.
I think that's probably a pretty wise thing. Okay, any comments or questions? Anybody wish to speak for or against it? If not, a motion's in order.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Here we go.
Next item presented by Flowers and White Engineering on behalf of Straw Source LLC, requesting 2 lots located on the west side of Sprott Drive, 2,800 feet north of Edna Brakelet Lucas Drive from Ag 1 to M1.
Good evening, Brad Flowers, Flowers and White. What we're requesting on this is a rezoning on a piece of property that is located here on Sprott Drive. If you see what you've got here, those are 2 platted lots that the developer is trying to purchase, and he is looking at doing a light industrial type development in this. The goal is to have his office, and the one that is to the top of the screen is the way you've got it right here, the single lot. He owns Straw Source, which is a distributor of pine straw, which seems to be a growing demand in the area. So he owns that and would use that basically for his office. And if he had to do any service or had anything he had to store, he'd have that. The larger building, the intent on that is to have that as more of an office / light industrial building, to where you would have an electrical contractor, a plumbing contractor, somebody like that that doesn't need an office space for people to walk in, but they need a room for an office, and they need a little bit of storage for their materials when they go out to service the job. So that's what we're looking for right now. I'm open to any questions.
Okay, any comments, questions by the planning commission?
What is a legal conforming property? What does that mean, Tommy?
Legal conforming,
That's what it says down here.
it fits its zoning.
Okay, that basically means it's zoned property.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What is flex
Comp.
employment?
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
Mr. Hardwick, there's a sheet in your agenda that explains flex employment, the second page.
Oh, it is? All right, well, I didn't read that.
Okay.
So what is it?
So
I didn't either.
What is
Mr.
it?
Smith will have to explain that.
Okay. I saw the terminology, and I guess forgive me.
read from mine? You got it.
Shot it to your head, not your heart.
Yes, sir, Mr. Hardwick, Planning Commission. So if you'll flip to your second page
All right,
on that particular agenda item.
all right. Flex unemployment.
Oh, yeah.
FE.
Flex employment.
Oh, flex, excuse me.
Yeah, flex employment. As it says, I don't want to read that to you, but just I don't know where the feedback's coming from.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Got a little feedback.
cell phone.
Okay, so as it says right there, collection of low-impact industrial uses that includes assembly and processing, warehousing and distribution, and flex space suitable for high-tech or research and development activities, kind of in a nutshell. And it takes on the primary uses. If you look in the primary use table at the bottom, light industrial, office, commercial, and on the secondary uses would allow for a mix of uses, multifamily, residential, civic, and institutional. I don't know where that that feedback keeps coming from, but maybe Mike will help us with that. But that's basically it in a nutshell.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any other comments?
Yeah,
Okay. Excuse me.
that side road, West Ferry Acres, is that a public road?
Hang on, the one to the side, no, sir, it is not a public road. It is, but there's a 60-foot access easement across that road that is accessing utility easement that goes up, if you see it on the drawing, that gives access to lots 1 through 4 on this plat from all indications.
Can But he has
Just a second,
he has
just a
right to access that
Just a
private drive.
From everything we have been told, yes, we do. They're going through some title to verify that, but if we don't have right to access, we can still do everything out on Sprott. That wouldn't be a problem. We don't have to have those rear drives.
Can I speak to that, sir?
You can as soon as he finishes.
Just a moment. There's going to be a lot of big trucks using that road.
So,
Sprott Drive.
yeah, so the only one that we anticipate would have any larger trucks would be the individual lot to the west side there, top of your screen, for the straw sources. He would potentially have to bring in some trucks to do service on those as he sends them back out. But that would be the only one. The smaller building, well, it's a bigger building, but the smaller use is going to be the light industrial. Those will be just your standard pickup trucks and things of that nature that you would see for an electrical contractor or somebody like that. They're not going to be bringing in 18-wheelers for that building.
But they will for the other one.
Potentially, he would be coming in to service those vehicles, yes, sir.
Is there any plans to widen Sprott Drive?
That's a county road. I have absolutely no clue.
Okay. Now, sir, you want to comment?
May I give
Go
these
to the
you?
mic.
May I give these to you?
Yes, sir. If you would, give your name and address, and then we'll take those.
My name is Ken Jones, and my company is Woodworking Dynamics, and I'm at the end of that gravel road, and that gravel road belongs to Ken Jones. If there is some sort of variance on it, I would like to have that information sent to my lawyer.
Okay. Have y'all had any conversations with them, Brad?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, sir, if you had something.
I'm in the architectural woodwork business, and we are light manufacturing, and I have no opposition to their business. I just want to know that access, if they have it, I need to see. I want to make sure that's legal. My next point is, in the proposed area they're talking about doing, at one time there was a gravel pit dug nearby. The overburden was put on that property. There was a mountain of overburden. A lot of it got hauled off, but a lot of it didn't. Then it got dispersed, and it hauls. If you look at my picture there, all the water heads back to my property, around, and it goes onto the city property, which is abuts the Kilby Prison property. And I've got a bad water issue. That was hayfield out there at one time. If you got a topo map, you'll see I'm paying flood insurance on that property now. What I paid $5,000 for probably ain't worth $100 an acre. And I would like to petition y'all to help me with the beaver dams on the city property there, as well as possibly the ones on the state property at Kilby Prison. And I would request that they have some sort of stormwater runoff plan on this proposed building that they're doing.
Okay. Brad, you know where we're going. I mean, y'all need to have some conversations.
Let me say this. I think you heard it straight out of Mr. Jones' mouth. He has no problem with the rezoning. As far as the layout, we can rework the layout. We're here for the zoning with a conceptual plan. If that is not true access, but it is on the recorded plat for these lots. So if it got put on the recorded plat, then we're going to have to do title search for that because the plat strictly states 60-foot wide access and utility easement that abuts these lots, which would give legal access right to these lots. So if it was put on there by error, then we need to get that straightened out, and we will do that, but it is on all the documentation we have. Secondly, if it is an issue where they do not have legal access, we can take those drives off very easily and still do the same thing. And if he's agreeing to the zoning, I don't think there's a need for us to go back and meet. We still have to bring a development plan. The city's stormwater management plan is over the top, so there's no question that everything we do would have to meet the city's requirements for stormwater management. That would not be an issue for us.
That's all I'm asking. One other item, if in fact they do use my road for ingress, I'd like to see some sort of plan about that, either paved or a maintenance contract, just something. I use that road every day. I have about 10 employees, and I have maybe 1 or 2 semis come through there every day. Not much. It's just a gravel road. And yeah, I would require some help there.
But you've been maintaining the road for years.
Pardon me?
You've been maintaining that road as a
Yes,
private
sir.
road.
I bought that property in 1998 from Lee Jackson, Grout Incorporated.
And you've maintained it, and
Yes.
you're the only one that's been using it for
That's
all
correct.
these years, for 22 years.
The owner of the said property has made claims to it, but I'd like to see it and like to let my lawyer research it, please.
Okay. All right.
If you look at the transaction of the land, Grout owned all of it. They sold Mr. Kent here his piece, and then Grout sold also the rest of this to Wares Ferry Properties Incorporated. Wares Ferry Properties Incorporated sold property, these lots, to Sanderson LLC, and so then we are buying this from Sanderson LLC, but like I said, it was recorded on the plat when these lots were platted. So that's where we've traced everything that we could from the legal train all the way back through, and we see that access easement. It's shown on the recorded plat, but we will work through all that with the attorneys and let them handle it.
That must have been pretty early on then.
The initial was prior, the access was granted, I think, at the time it was given to you, and then it was.
Yeah, mine was 1998, and I think there's one that precedes that, but I've never seen that. That's what I'm asking for.
We can get all that, all the attorney worked out in that portion, but like I said, we don't need that access. If it is, and we would work with him to do whatever we need to do to help him with the maintenance of that, however it works out.
Yeah.
The zoning, I think, is a question.
Okay, well, I think what we were kind of leading to, since there is some issues, and I hear what you're saying. You're saying we're here for rezoning, we're not here for all that. And, but I think it probably would be a wise move if y'all hadn't had any communications, had you?
No.
None.
No, sir.
And I think that's, well, I'm gonna let her talk as soon as we get through here. And, but I my recommendation would be y'all postpone this a month, and y'all sit down and really get where y'all feel good about it, because the gentleman's not up here, from what I'm hearing, as you said. He's not objecting to the rezoning. He just wants some.
She is.
Well, that's okay. We'll listen to her
I
in just a
understand.
minute. So
Just a little levity here, sir.
that would be my recommendation, Brad. Now, anything else, sir?
I spoke with Stephen Speaks today, and he was the one who suggested that I talk about the water remediation And that's the only reason I brought that up. And if the city and the state can help me there, it'd certainly be great.
All right. Ma'am, would you step to the mic and give your name and address, please?
My name is Susan Golden. I live at 644 Sprott Drive, which is right on the other side of this property.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
live there. First of all, I want to know if any of y'all have even been out to this property and seen the condition. This road is not designed for tractor-trailer traffic. I spoke with the guy who owns Straw Source. He told me that he has anywhere from 6 to 7 tractor-trailers come down the road every day to make deliveries. This road is not designed for tractor-trailer use. There's barely room enough for 2 vehicles to come down the road, much less tractor-trailers. If you were to meet a tractor-trailer on the road, there's nowhere to go. There are swamps and ditches on both sides of the road. But school buses. We have children that live on this road. We have people who live on this road. Right past where this property is going in, if you'll see, there is a very sharp curve there. So, you know, it's not a public road. The intersections that tractor trailers would have to go through. I have a CDL license. I have a commercial driver's license. I would not make those intersections with a tractor trailer. Which brings up another issue with the drainage problem. When it rains, there's nowhere for the water to go. The roads flood. The county's been out there 3 or 4 times in the last 6 months putting in more drainage across the roads, but the water goes nowhere. The state owns the property on the other side of the road. They put drainage ditches across there, but the water goes nowhere because the state doesn't maintain the beaver dams, so the water has nowhere to go. You let another business come in, take up what property we have out there that helps absorb the water. We're going to put a 40,000 plus warehouse there and put more asphalt. We're going to have more water runoff, and we're going to have more water in the road that the ditches can't handle. The county comes out maybe once every 6 to 8 months and cleans the ditches out. I have pictures where the ditches are full. We have mosquitoes awful because the ditches and the water have nowhere to go. Yes, I oppose the rezoning. It is agricultural residential. There are people who live there. I live there. The 2 or 3 businesses are there now. They leave at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We never hear them. We don't have tractor trailer business. They're pickup trucks. I don't want tractor trailers in and out all day long. I sure don't want a 40,000 foot warehouse that I have to look at every day, which who knows in the world is going to be in and out of it every day. And if y'all want to see the pictures of the roads and the swamps, I have them.
Yeah, if you'll bring them up. Okay. Reg, y'all wanna? We're part of you. We're not part of y'all. Okay. Trust me. All right.
That's a very short curve right there.
Yes, it is.
That's the ditch with the water across the road. That's the water that is so piled up in the ditch that it's turning. That's a further.
I got that in my front yard too, in the gutter.
That's the water across the road. See, it's not moving. It just rained the day before. The water goes nowhere to go.
That's on the other side of Sprout.
Yes.
That's pretty.
I'd like for it to stay.
All right.
You can see the deer and, you know, the little wildlife instead of a 40,000 square foot building. They put in ditches, you know what I'm saying?
How many other neighbors do you have?
There's,
Ma'am, can you come back and talk in the mic?
my neighbor here lives not next door to me.
She needs to come and talk in the
Just
mic.
pass the pictures and we'll get, yeah, just pass the pictures and go back to
Mr.
the mic.
Hardwick,
Go back to the
she
mic.
needs to come and talk in the mic.
She lives next door to me. There's let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 right on the other side, probably, I don't know, 600, 700 yards on the other side of where this proposed is. When you get to Edna Break, all the way down Edna Break Lucas, there's houses where these tractor trailers would have to go up and down. There's even a daycare on Edna Break Lucas where these trucks would have to go in front of. There's a church. There's 2 churches on Edna Break Lucas. You know, and this envision, whatever plan, flex employment, you know, it states on here that, you know, growth for areas, assets around Montgomery Regional Airport, Hyundai, we're 27, 30 miles from those locations. I don't see that's an area close to those locations. It also states on here that the streets should be accommodate truck traffic. These county roads by no means accommodate truck traffic. So, you know, I'm pleading with y'all to please, let's keep this residential agriculture so we can still have a little bit of the country, enjoy a little bit of wildlife.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You say you're across from this development, ma'am, Ms. Golden. You said you're across from it. You mean, are you on Wares Fair Acres?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Ma'am, somewhere in your presentation, you made a comment that this was not a public road. Is that correct? Am I confusing?
It's a county road, yes, sir.
Okay, it's a
county road, yes, sir.
It is a public road.
Right, it's a county road, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
All right.
Okay. Ma'am, did you have
Probably
something?
is, but
She's
his.
just my neighbor.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Okay. 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 Anyone else? Brad? Give me your, what you want to do. You want us to vote on it or not?
You know,
Speechless.
for my developer at this point, we'll go ahead and delay this. And I'll just leave my comments at that.
All right,
Are you gonna get
will you get with them to
Yeah, we'll
y'all
figure-
set up a time and
we'll
all the
figure out-
talking?
We'll figure out the
Ma'am?
access.
Ma'am, would you make sure y'all are part of this too? They're going to hold this over until next month so that the developer has the opportunity to meet and talk with y'all, okay? And hopefully hopefully something can be worked from that. If not, we'll be back next month.
Yeah. That's
Fair
fine.
enough? Is that, sir? Sir?
I'm fine.
Okay, all right, okay. All right, Brad, thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Okay. All right.
The next
Tommy?
item is by Flowers and White Engineering on behalf of Patel Group LLC, requesting to rezone a parcel of land, some 5.6 acres on the east side of Mobile Highway, 600 feet south of Coca-Cola Road, from Ag 1 to M1.
Hey, good evening. Kenneth White, Flowers White. I'm representing Patel Group, Inc. It says LLC. I just want to make sure that's clear. I'm representing Patel Group, Inc. I'm sorry if I sent the wrong owner, Tanya. This tract of land, as you see, it's right there west of the Coca-Cola plant. Can you scroll down one? I'm sorry. I'll show the zoning. There's M1 surrounding it, and that's what we're asking for, is the M1 zoning. I believe the comp plan recommends similar zoning, so I can entertain any questions, or should you want to tell you? Sorry.
Hi, my name is Varun Patel. So basically, we are getting this land for a good convenience store with gas station and restaurant, because we are seeing like there are so many future commercial coming up over there, and surrounding there is no choice except one small gas station.
Okay. Any comments or questions?
Will you be selling beer and alcohol?
Not, I mean, beer only, not means liquor, no liquor. And it's a fine dining restaurant.
A fine dining one?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, my.
Kind of. And we are trying to get a couple of franchisee if we can get it, you know.
Okay. Any other comments, questions by the planning?
Well, the paperwork says a convenience store.
Yeah.
Yeah, convenience store, gas station, and a restaurant.
And a fine dining one.
Yeah, because we have like 5.6 acres. We have a
Tablecloths.
pretty big lot.
Does that make a difference?
Depends on what kind of wine you sell. In the box or in the bottle? Okay. Any other comments? Anybody wish to speak for or against it? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm Ed Fleming, 8613 Hearthstone Drive. I'm with Hodges Commercial Real Estate. With all the commercial things that are coming on 31, there's only a few places to put a small 5-acre spot. Most of the rest of the land is being bought up in 200 acres, 120 acres, 60 acres. So this is an ideal spot to put a convenience store with chicken and food and drinks and all that for all the workers that's going to be coming up and down the road. I mean, it's several large facilities and lots of workers that's going to be down there. So this would be an added advantage for those folks down there. So I think it'd be a good, and it'd be brand new too with all the latest. So I think it'd be
In a
wonderful.
fancy restaurant.
But he
Fancy,
said,
well,
Fine dining.
depends on what
Fine
you're used
dining.
to. But it will be nice. It will be very nice.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else? If not, motion's in order.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Anybody opposed? Thank you, Kenny. Yeah, reservations tonight, right? Okay. Y'all, we're gonna call it, we'll be finished, but if you would, please keep your seats on something I want to talk, but we're through with the
You
commission.
need to say you adjourn.
Well, we are adjourned.
Okay.
We are adjourned.